right now in heaven talking to God like, man, would you please make me a white boy when I come out? Or would you please make me black? Or would you please make me Jewish or Asian or Arabian or whatever? Arabic, I should say. Or Hispanic, Latino, whatever. Babies ain't up there telling God that. So how is it that you hold people accountable, or you hold it against people for being a different ethnicity? You assume that because they were born this skin tone, because they were born to this background, to this ethnic background, that they are predetermined to be the bad apple, the bad seed. Because one thing you can't deny is we were all born people. So the inclination to be negative or be evil or be bad or be anything else isn't exclusive to one ethnicity. Nor is any one ethnicity immune to it. But yet you try to create that ideology amongst the people, because you have people in position who say African Americans are more likely to be the bad seeds, patrol their areas more, be more suspicious of them. You see a group of young black teenage guys, they're gangbangers. They're all dressed the same way. I know plenty of white gang members too. But when they hang out in the group, they don't get that same harassment. What makes them different? You know, what? Somebody tell me. Somebody explain it to me. Because a lot of people are not going to agree with what I'm saying. But if you don't agree with me, I want you to please explain to me exactly why you don't. Make it clear to me where I'm wrong in saying that there's a double standard here. And you're going to say, well, they've got affirmative action. They've got all these rights for you people now. I know that's what's going to come out of somebody's mouth who sees this. Somebody's thinking it if they don't say it. The question is, why did it take that long to get all of those things? And why would we even need all those things if we were equal in the first place? Think about it. Why would laws have to be passed to get people treated fairly if we were actually being treated fairly? If America was so great in the first place. See, Trump says make America great again. That's bullshit. Because America was only great for a select few. And that's a fact. My political campaign, my slogan, I want to restore America's vision. You see, we have 20/20 vision. When you have 20/20 vision in your eyes, it's called great, perfect. You can see. You go to the eye doctor, they tell you get 20/20 vision. No need for contacts or glasses, you're good. So in the year 2020, I'm going to restore America's vision, because the vision, the quote unquote ideology and vision of America is a land of equality and a land of opportunity and a land of freedom for people to come without being judged or persecuted for what they think, what they believe, and what they practice. But from its inception, that was never true. It was never followed, and it still to this day is not being followed. And that is what I plan to change. That's what I plan to do. See, you get people to come into office and they play this political correctness idea, because they want you to think that people who hold a political office or a public office are more than human. So they should be held to more than a human standard. Fuck all that. I've been broke. I've been in the hood. I've been in boardrooms. I could sit here and talk to you very articulate and use $5 to $10 to $20 words. Or I could get on some ebonic shit and tell you how it really go down. But the fact of the matter is, I'm a human who understands people in general. I can sit and mix with people from all backgrounds of life, and I don't prejudge, and I don't change my perception of anyone until they give me a reason to. We need a president like that. We need someone like that who's not going to be controlled by special interest groups. Let me be honest with you, America. If I run for president, I don't give a fuck who contributes to the campaign. Their say-so doesn't mean anything to me if it changes or if it goes against the ideology of making the place better for everybody. I don't need it. America doesn't need it. That's what's wrong now. See, America's money-driven now. And the 1% are the ones with enough money to evoke the change. But they don't want it to change, because then once things even out and get equal, they lose their influence and they don't get to do things to make the country work only for them and in their favor. I ain't with that shit. I don't like the fact that America is so divided. I don't like the fact that I have to wonder every time or any time that I could potentially be pulled over, maybe the last time I ever get to breathe. I don't like the idea that my children are going to grow up in a country where they might be killed simply because they're different. I don't like that shit. And I'm not going to allow it if I have anything to say about it. Now, let me get back to the case at hand, because I've went all around it, but back to Colin Kaepernick. First off, Colin Kaepernick, I salute what you did, and that's coming from a veteran. And all the other veterans who are going to get mad at me and say that I'm wrong and try to argue that the flag and the anthem are symbols of the military, hey, you can believe that shit if you want to, but it's not. Because that song, the national anthem, where the fuck was that song at when my homeboy Sergeant Michael Smith took a sniper's bullet? Did that song jump in front of the bullet for him? When he passed, and I'm to his family, I apologize for bringing up this issue, but I just want to make a point, and I hope that y'all can bear with me on this and feel me on this. Where was that song at when other people were out there dying? No, the song wasn't jumping in front of bullets. People were. We were out there protecting and defending each other. The uniform, the flag vest, the people, the soldiers. That song didn't do shit. The flag didn't either. It's not bulletproof. What the fuck? You people are putting all this support behind some ideology, well, some ideological shit. If they change the national anthem next week to Snoop Dogg's Gin and Juice, it's still not gonna do a motherfucking thing for me or anybody else. That song ain't saved nobody's life. The fuck is wrong with y'all? That song haven't pulled a kid out of a burning building. It haven't helped an old lady cross a street. It hasn't fed a homeless family. And it hasn't prevented anything negative from going on in this country, not once. So what the fuck are y'all so upset about a song for? That song doesn't defend the nation. That flag doesn't defend the nation. But they are symbols of America, right? And as being symbols of America, they're symbols of freedom and democracy, right? And in that ideology of freedom and democracy, it means people have the freedom to express themselves in ways that they choose, correct? So that man choosing not to stand up because that song was playing is his right, correct? If you call yourself an American and you back American ideals, then you back what Colin Kaepernick did. And that's just the fact of the matter. And if you don't, then cut the bullshit, because you're not for freedom. You're not for liberty. You are not for the American ideology or the quote-unquote principle that this nation was founded upon. You're not. You're for yourself. You're for that double standard. You're for that glass ceiling or that bullshit curtain that they put over everybody's eyes. You're for the mirror box. You see what I'm saying? And you don't even know it. You're too blind to it. And some of you are going to listen to this and wake up from it. And some of you are still going to remain blind and lost to the ideology that you're being led sheepishly into thinking one way when everything is totally different. When both issues are one and the same. When the same thing that you think you're defending by calling Colin Kaepernick bad for not standing during that anthem, it's the same problem that he's trying to combat. The same ideology that you say you're defending when you say that it's wrong for him to sit during the national anthem. The same ideology that you think that you're defending is the same thing he's defending by not standing. He's not standing because there are people being unjustly done. You pledge allegiance to that flag a lot. You stand up, put your hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Three important things in that pledge that you say and that you take to pride in the heart so well are the 100% solid principles and reasons why he's not standing. And yet you salute that flag and you stand for that anthem and you put your hand over your heart and feel so patriotic when doing it and don't even realize it. They say this nation in the Pledge of Allegiance, they say that this nation should be indivisible. Let's break that down. Let me give you a little bit of English here. Indivisible. Basically, the root word there is divide, also meaning divide, which if you learn from math, divide means to separate two things into two parts or multiple parts. Break it down into multiple parts. And in that sense of the word, indivisible means they don't want this country divided. They want this country to be together. They want it to be on the same accord. But when people are being unjustly slaughtered because of a color, when people are being unjustly treated, unfairly imprisoned, at least in a ratio or rates to how it goes proportionately, this country is being divided. So when you say that Pledge of Allegiance and then you back that kind of ideology and you back that kind of treatment of people in America, you're lying every time you put your hand over your heart and say that Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Next thing, it says it's one nation under God. Those of you that read the Bible know that God says you don't judge people. But America is full of judging, full of people judging a lot of people. Part of that unfair treatment is because people think they have a right to judge how a person's gonna be or who they are because of how they look, because of what they wear, because of where they come from, because of what they believe and practice. How do you believe God when he says don't judge, but you do it? Last thing, when you say that Pledge of Allegiance, you say with liberty and justice for all. Where's the justice for Tamir Rice? Where's the justice behind a lady who's going to do 2 years in prison because her dog died in a hot car, but a judge gets off when his kid died in a hot car? Where's the justice for Philando Castile, for Sandra Bland? Where's the justice for Trayvon Martin? When a man like George Zimmerman can place the gun he used to kill that kid up for auction, making a mockery of the loss of a life. Where's the justice for all? Where's liberty in that? Where's the liberty for Colin Kaepernick? Liberty, whether you get it or not, means freedom. They're one and the same. They're synonyms. Okay? In all fairness, the essence of both of those words is freedom. So why is he not free to choose to sit while that song plays? If this place is the place with liberty and justice for all. This is just a part of my rant. I got a lot more to say to y'all. Now, I'll be coming back with a few more of these videos. I'm going to take a break for right now because I'm parched and I'm about to go get me something to eat. But believe me, when I come back to speak again, I will come back with facts, figures, statistics, and all of those things that the people who are listening to this and the skeptics listening to this are going to say, well, he didn't say anything. He just spouted off what he's feeling. See, next, now that I've got your attention, I'm going to come back and present you with the truth, with the facts, with everything to support what I say. And then anyone who doubts what I'm saying, I dare you and I challenge you to come back and give me facts and figures to prove otherwise. You see, you're not dealing with the average person here. You're not dealing with somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. I don't step into anything that I'm not prepared to win. You get what I'm saying? I don't jump into a debate or an argument or anything that I don't think I have the upper hand coming in. America, y'all fucked up. Because one thing y'all didn't realize is that I learned both sides of the game. You see, I know politics. I know government. I know law. I know history, the good and the bad of it all. And I know everything it takes to show you the negativity in this country and how it's cleverly woven to seem like it's not there. See, the tapestry of America has been woven in a way that confuses and hides the ugly truth of the country. And I feel as though being a veteran, being someone who's lost friends, who's lost family, and countless others who over there serving in uniform to defend this nation, I feel like if anybody's at liberty to say whatever the fuck they feel about it, I am. Because I went over and watched people pay the ultimate sacrifice for it. So you goddamn right, I'm at right to say what the hell I feel about it. And right now, I feel like the country's fucked up. And has been for a long time. If I could go over there and suffer through the shit that I did, witness the things I did, carry around the mental load, the burden of the things that I witnessed, and other people who are way more fucked up than I am from being over there. If we can all come back here after going and dealing with that and have all that placed on our heads, then shouldn't we be able to come back to this same country and have a right to voice our opinions when something's not being right? When something's wrong, when something's not being done properly? Shouldn't we have that right? America, don't you say we have that right? Because from what I'm seeing, y'all not giving us that right. Y'all treating us like we ain't shit. But y'all be easy out there. Like I said, when I come back with the facts and figures, I'll be a little more calmed down. I had some shit to piss me off today already, so I'm a little upset right now. So I'm a little more irate. I may be a little less profane in my next rant. I may not. But again, before I leave, let me challenge y'all to think about something. Those of you out there who would say that what he did was disrespectful to the military, those of you out there who would say that gangs are bad and a crime and negative, those of you who would stand and put your hand over your heart and say the Pledge of Allegiance, and those of you who would argue that what I've said today is not fact, ask yourself, did the examples I used to compare all of those things I just mentioned to, ask yourself if my comparisons are not spot on. If the ideology behind the gangs and their view of colors and hand symbols and words and different phrases, if their willingness to die and to kill over those things is no different than the willingness of a patriot to die for the flag, to die over this anthem, to die over the American values. They're one and the same ideology, people. Ask yourselves, if people who take to heart every time they say the Pledge of Allegiance, you put your hand over your heart and you say those things and you swear by that while you look at that flag with so much pride, ask yourself if you're not really lying to yourself when you say those three words, those three phrases I pointed out about the nation being indivisible, being under God, and being a place with liberty and justice for all. When you know, you have documented proof, you see evidence every day that liberty and justice for all does not exist right now, that the nation is divided, thus meaning it's divisible, and that you don't practice the ideology that the Bible teaches you, whereas God says love everyone, whereas God says don't be a judge, judgment is his. Ask yourself, if you support freedom, if you support the ideology to freedom, if you support the basic principles that they say this nation was built on, ask yourself, if you're truly supportive of those things, why are you against Colin Kaepernick instead of for him? To you Trump supporters, and to people who deem all Muslims as terrorists, if you're behind the ideology of America and what it was founded on, if you're for the ideology of America and what it was founded on, if you believe the first settlers in America, quote unquote, were the pilgrims who came here, as you were told all your years of school, to escape religious persecution, for religious freedom, if you believe in that, if you stand behind that and you believe that in those ideologies of America, why do you hate Muslims? Why are they not free to practice their religion? Why does that instantly deem them a terrorist? If you are people who believe in the Constitution that all men are created equal, then why did you allow injustices like what went on with the lady facing 2 years for her dog dying, while a judge gets off free for his kid dying of the exact fucking same thing? Why are you not out here making a fuss about that instead of being more concerned about who stands or sits during a fucking song? Ask yourself those things. Because if you really want to be a patriot, if you really want to help this country become a better place, if you really love this land like you say you do, those are the issues you'd be looking at instead of who stands or sits during the playing of a damn song. Think about it, America. Just think about it.